how to reprogram the Trident so that you can have it run the combined test or the alkalinity test at whatever intervals you want. So I thought I'd do a quick video of this. So this is my Apex local. One thing to note here is I have renamed my Apex's host name. So instead of it being apex.local, I'm at refraf.local. Most people will just have apex.local. All good. So just keep this in mind. You don't want to straight copy and paste this. I doubt anybody else has the same name. So pretend this is apex.local for the most part. So open up your local Apex. First thing you want to do is click on this gear. And then we want to click on this little dude, which will show us all of our modules. Awesome. Right, the thing we would need from here is to find out what module number the Trident is. Here we see the Trident's Aquabus address number 4, address 4. Okay, so we're pretty convinced it's number 4. All right, so keep that in mind. Your address for the Trident will be different than mine. Module address, Aquabus address, whatever, interchangeable terms. Just keep in mind this is how you get that number. 4, 4, boom. And if you actually look in the URL, modules 4. Got it. Cool. So we're at 4. So the next thing we want to do is actually open up any old outlet. So here I have one outlet showing. I've hid all the rest to make this less confusing. But we click on that, and what we get, what we actually care about here, is that this will help us create the URLs we need to be able to reprogram the outputs that sit behind the Trident. So here, this is the URL prefix. It's going to be apex.local/apex config outputs, and then this is going to be the module number, and then the output associated with the module. That's how I think this works. So what we want to do is change this to 4, because our Trident is at Aquabus address number 4. And then here, the two key things are that the outputs on that module that do the testing are 3 and 4. So if we go to 3, so here, just to give you an idea, what you want is apex.local apex config outputs. Now this 4 is going to be replaced with your Trident's module number _3. 3 is not variable between my Apex and yours. It will be the same. So 4_3 is where we're at. So here we go, and we see this is name was going to be whatever the hell it is when you installed your Trident. It's probably going to be Trident because I named my module Trident. So mine is called Trident _ the module number _3. Here we could see the OSC command. So the way this works is this is the delay, how long to run, how long to be off. So looking at this is this OSC command is saying something is starting at midnight. Sweet. It's running for a minute, and you can ignore that minute part, kind of. And then it's going to essentially be off for 719 more minutes, which essentially means this thing runs at midnight and then again 12 hours later. When you combine the 719 and the 1, you get 720 minutes, and that's going to be midnight. And that is when the combined Trident tests run. They run at midnight and lunchtime. Cool. So that is that. So you can go ahead and reprogram this any way you want. Set it to off and say, hey, if the temperature is greater than something crazy, don't try to run it, which is probably a terrible idea. Don't do that. But you can tweak with this to say, hey, instead of running twice a day, run once a day, whatever you want to do. Next we're going to do is replace that 3 suffix on the URL with a 4 suffix. So 4_4 is going to be my module number for my Apex is 4. _4 is the output number for the ALK test. Here you'll see it's by default been named ALK44 for me, thanks. So this says delay from midnight, 6 hours, run for a minute, then stay off for another 6 hours. So this is our run at 6 a.m. and then run at 6 p.m. thing. So this is going to be the ALK test. If you want to run this less than 4 times a day, keep in mind it's going to be a little tricky because you have, let's open a separate tab here, the combined test, which is running at midnight and lunchtime. And this one is running at midnight, no, not midnight, sorry, 6 a.m. It's going to sleep for 6 hours. So then it's actually going to run at 12 lunchtime again, which overlaps with this guy, and then is going to run again at 6. So somehow, some way, the Apex kind of like deals with that overlap. So keep that in mind, that these two are interconnected. This is output 3. This one is actually by default running at lunch and at midnight, and then the other one is technically doing the 6 a.m. 6 p.m. ones. So keep that all in mind. Reprogram it any way you want. Keep in mind that these are going to overlap some way, somehow, unless you're very strict and say, hey, I'm running my combined test at midnight and that's it. That would be the easiest way to do it. That would be like ALK is getting tested just once a day, or everything's technically getting tested just once a day, etc. So you would reprogram it any way you want. That's not valid code. You would hit the save button just like you would save any other programming. Let's undo that before I mess everything up. And you'll be done. That is how you reprogram your Trident to run at whatever intervals you want it to run at.